Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Gursant Singh here with a review of the new SikhNet video. It was produced on June 21st, titled SikhNet Sits Down with Basics of Sikhi to talk about how people pass judgment on each other. And evidently, Jagraj Singh from Basics of Sikhi went to the SikhNet offices and met Gursant Singh and Harijot Singh there during the Yogi Bhajan Tantric Yoga solstice celebration there in Espanola, New Mexico. And they talked about how traditional Sikhs view SikhNet and these Yogi Bhajan people, and how there's been a lot of talk about the un-Sikh-like activities that they are doing and the violations of the Sikh Reht Maryada. Well, as you'll see from the video when you watch it, a lot of these violations of the Sikh Reht Maryada are just completely glossed over. And we want to talk about a few of these violations and how regular Sikhs are very concerned about this. Now, the first Sikh commenting here under the video, and by the way, this is on SikhNet's main Facebook page. You can scroll down and find this video there. Or you could probably Google it on Google and then find it. This Sikh says, tell 3HO to stop doing Beadbi, worshipping idols, dancing around, and follow the Rehet Maryada. Now, SikhNet, despite their title of saying that this video is about not judging people, how people pass judgment, they have made this false statement about me, Gursant Singh. And it says here, I am sorry that you have been misled by people like Gursant Singh. And they misspelled through here. I believe that's what they mean. Through his Ninda, you are spreading more poison about your Khalsa brothers and sisters. And then they go on down here in this canned statement. They say, Gursant is not sharing with you in his agenda to divide and spread hate and disguise as righteousness. So then the Sikh follows up and says, follow the Sikh Reht Maryada. I have no problems. And SikhNet just answers with another canned response without addressing the problems there, the SikhNet and Yogi Bhajan Dera. Then Jasprit Singh Ji talks about how there's no yoga, no Kundalini yoga in Sikhi. And SikhNet doesn't respond. And Jasprit Singh is quoted Gurbani. And then, again, SikhNet gives this canned response about how I'm spreading Ninda. And then Jasprit Singh comments again without any response from SikhNet to address these problems. And then later, Jasprit Singh Ji says, why your website promoting Vayanti mantra as part of the SikhNet now? Now, this is a very important point, and I definitely think it's worth following up on here. How in the video, in fact, Jagraj Singh says that he observed the Yogi Bhajan people going to in the Amrit Vela, doing practices, Sikhi practices and Gurmat practices. Well, I think this is not a correct observation. There are a few Gurmat practices. They do practice Japji Sahib. But the bulk of the 2.5 hours of their Aquarian sadhana, as they call it, is made up of Yogi Bhajan mantras and one outright Hindu mantra, which Jasprit Singh has correctly pointed out. And the SikhNet people refuse to address or to accept criticism on. So let's look at that link that Jasprit Singh has correctly pointed out here. And we can see this says here, underway to sadhana, Kundalini Yoga mantras for the Aquarian age. And this is their Aquarian mantra play track here. It says here, Yantri mantra. And then all the rest of the mantras that are done during this Aquarian sadhana are Yogi Bhajan mantras that are integrated with the Aquarian sadhana. And there are a combination of Gurbani and then other Yogi Bhajan mantras. And then yoga, of course, they do, in the Dabar of the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib. So it's Kachi Bani at best. And then, like I said, there is one outright Hindu mantra, this Vayantri mantra, which the Yogi Bhajan people themselves have described as being originating with Patanjali. So let's get back to the comments here on this video. There's some other good ones here. One here by another Sikh says, Gurmustic and Guruka, if you really think and illumined yourselves to be the self-proclaimed contractors of Sikhi, then I think you should not run away from the allegations that were being made against you people. Earlier, when I was having general conversations with Guruka, he deleted a few of my comments with some links, and people thought I'm talking senseless. So, and this is what the SikhNet people do. They never answer these questions. They censor. I can't even comment here on the SikhNet website. It's really not very Sikh-like or Khalsa-like for them to actually accuse me of Ninda and telling lies, and they won't even let me respond on their website. I think SikhNet should give a retraction on this comment. It is completely against Sikhi, and it's also, by the way, I want to point out, against their actual SikhNet leadership philosophy, as they say here. And you can read here, it says, our policy for the SikhNet news is good news, goodwill. We avoid posting political news or news that's negative in nature. Rather, we focus on what can inspire and inform. And it says, we do our part to create unity instead of division. We do not take sides, and we do not promote or condemn any Sikh group. Now, I guess technically I'm not a group, but it's pretty clear that SikhNet has violated the spirit of their own policy or philosophy here when they've accused me of committing this Ninda, as they say. So again, I would implore SikhNet to retract the statement about me and accept criticism. Let me be able to comment on these posts, let other Sikhs comment, and then answer them. That's the way there'll be understanding between the regular Sikh community and the Yogi Bhajan people. That's the only way. Now let's look at some of the criticisms, if you will, that I've been pointing out for many years now, and I want to talk about in light of this Aquarian sadhana, which Gursant Singh alludes to when he's talking about the good things that SikhNet's doing. And he says again that the Yogi Bhajan people get up in the Amrit Vela and do these sadhanas. They do these Aquarian sadhanas in yoga in the Dabar of the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib. I lived in Espanola for about 16 years, and then in Los Angeles for another 15 years or so. And my observation was every morning the Yogi Bhajan people do these yoga exercises right there in the Dabar of the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib. And I had first-hand experience that Yogi Bhajan had told us to do these exercise these Kundalini Yoga mantras and yogas there in the Darbar of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. I once asked if these could be done in the Langar Hall, at least to keep them out of the Darbar of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. But I was flatly said no, they have to be done. Yogi Bhajan insisted that they have to be done in the Darbar of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib, there in the Gurdwara. And you can see here, this is an everyday occurrence where they do these, even this, like I said, even this one Hindu mantra. Now, what's interesting also, and un-Sikh-like, and I think that SikhNet should change there, is that this Yogi Bhajan large mural, which you've probably all seen, stands there in the Darbar of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. And I pointed this out before. It's a Tantric mural, which the Yogi Bhajan people refuse to remove. And there's also, you can see here, this is the SikhNet headquarters, which is right there at the same Gurdwara, the same place. Oh yeah, this was the picture I was looking for. You can see here how they do Prakash and Sukhasan right underneath this big Yogi Bhajan Tantric mural, which is really completely wrong. And they have Yogi Bhajan's image, which they worship there and do this Guru Yoga, they call it, where they meditate on Yogi Bhajan's picture, this image of Yogi Bhajan. And they bring the Sri Guru Granth Sahib in there, in the Darbar of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib, with this Yogi Bhajan Tantric, big Tantric painting there. So these are some things that SikhNet and Yogi Bhajan people need to change. And to be quite honest, the 3HO people will never be accepted by traditional Sikhs unless they do change. It does no good to just gloss over these problems. Now, there's an excellent article that came out about a year ago, which was written by the Sikh Free Press. It's called American Yogis Distort Sikh Scripture, which goes in detail about the history of Yogi Bhajan and about all these un-Sikh-like practices there. And I encourage everyone to look this article up and read it. It'll give you a really good background about it. And you can see for yourself how Yogi Bhajan really committed a lot of frauds and misled us, misled the 3HO people, and got us into a lot of these Hindu pujas and this idol worship and all things like that. So SikhNet and Gurmustic and Gursant Singh have all been promoting this idol worship, and whether they realize it or not, it's affecting and influencing young Sikhs from all around the world. So this is why we want to make Sikhs around the world aware of these deceptions and these lies that are coming out of SikhNet and the Yogi Bhajan people. Now here you can see one of the 3HO people bowing to this idol of Baba Siri Chand, which is right there at the Gurdwara. It's right there, right next to the Gurdwara. It's right around the corner from where these big lions are here. Right around the corner there is this big idol of Baba Siri Chand. And the SikhNet offices, as you can see, are right there where this door and this arrow is. That's where the SikhNet offices are. And then the entrance to the Gurdwara is there. So SikhNet says that they don't have direct control over the Gurdwara, but they have a lot of influence, and they could move their offices if they really didn't agree with these idols being put around the Gurdwara. There's not only one, there's two. There's this bronze one here, and then there's a golden one as well. And then SikhNet covers this up, or tries to cover it up, by saying no, white Sikhs don't worship idols. And it says this question is based on rumors and misleading information. Of course, then they accuse me of committing this Ninda or lying. And they, in fact, are lying themselves. It's really ironic that they break their own philosophy of lying and then accuse others of lying. So here again, Gurukha says the same thing. This was in a video that they did. They called Why Do White Sikhs Worship Idols? And it was really a horrible job that Gurukha did, to be quite honest. He talks about how it's okay to worship idols and who are we to judge anybody. The fact is that there's a Sikh Reht Maryada, and Sikhs are told not to worship idols. Guru Gobind Singh made quite clear that we were not to worship idols. Now you can see Gurukha Singh here at this Yogi Bhajan death place with this golden idol of Baba Sri Chand above him when he's chanting these Yogi Bhajan mantras. And this woman here is the lead philosophical writer for SikhNet. Her name is Ikon Karkar, and she's also there. So you can see the Yogi Bhajan people use this image of Baba Sri Chand, which you can see down here in the bottom left here, in their videos promoting their yoga. This was a promotion for a yoga camp there, Tantric and Kundalini yoga camp there in Espanola. And they promote this idea of this magical thinking that Yogi Bhajan did with trying to promote this Sri Chand and his Kundalini and Tantric yoga. This was a way he got innocent students hooked into this Kundalini and Tantric yoga. Now, one of the arguments that the SikhNet and Yogi Bhajan people use is that the people get into the Kundalini yoga and then they get into Sikhi. Well, I would really have to disagree. I think that what happens is they get into this yoga and then they get a twisted form of Sikhi. And if you look at it, those people that have left 3HO, there's probably maybe 5 of us that have remained Sikhs. Maybe I'd say less, actually. And of the, quote, thousands of people that supposedly have gotten into Sikhi because of Yogi Bhajan, there's only just a couple of us that, when we left 3HO and left the yoga, stayed Sikhs. That really kind of shows you something. This is that other golden idol of Baba Sri Chand. You can see offerings here made at his feet there, too. Now, these are some posts that were made using Punjabi to describe these different un-Sikh-like activities. It was done by J.P. Singh. And I'll put a link to that as well. And you can see how Yogi Bhajan's people got this idea of doing these pujas and these Hindu ceremonies, this Hindu wedding that Ramukar put on there in Rishikesh with the 3HO people. They got this originally from Yogi Bhajan, who did Hindu pujas, and I was definitely instructed by Yogi Bhajan to do various Hindu pujas having to do with reducing the negative energy of Saturn by serving these black chanas there. You can see him here. He's got flowers in his hair and a tika, and this is his family here, his wife and daughter and son-in-law, all with this eye of Shiva on their foreheads. Yogi Bhajan had a Hindu last rites wedding, or sorry, funeral, and you can see here his family. 3HO people are in the background, and this was done in Rishikesh there by this Hindu RSS Swami. And you'll see more of him later in these pictures. Here he is here again, giving a book about Hinduism to the RSS chief. And the Yogi Bhajan people host this Swami here at their dera there regularly. Ramukar doing his Hindu pujas there in Rishikesh. I think you've probably all seen these pictures. And then SikhNet promotes her. You can see here from their there in their website how the SikhNet people promote Gurmukar. Another Hindu wedding picture of these 3HO people doing there. Probably all seen this picture as well. And this is Sanatam Kaur, who is a famous singer there and doing these Hindu artis there in Rishikesh with that same Hindu Swami there as well. They get newspaper articles. The Hindu Swamis love this because they want the white Sikhs to promote their Hindu agenda. It's more of the Tantric Yoga here. You can see here they're doing these un-Sikh-like Tantric yogas. And 3HO promotes these things. Dancing to Gurbani, that's another thing that we want to have SikhNet stop. They censor these things. Yogi Bhajan had all these huge gems and jewelries and things like that. Anyway, we can talk a lot about these other things. I think you've got the idea. Let's set SikhNet to stop these things. Why could you call